guys, my name is Bonnie and this is Artist in a Garden. Today I'm going to show you my new hose. Hey guys, so I'm at the back patio today and I wanted to share with you a new hose that I had installed at the back of the house. It's an auto rewind hose. I had been looking at a few of them online. I saw one at Costco that I really liked and thought, do I really need something like that? Is it something that do I need another hose? Being a gardener, I'm sure we all have tons of different hoses, ones that we like and ones that we don't like. So a bit of a backstory. My new vegetable garden is a space that was just cleared last year and I just started gardening in it this year. So I don't have any irrigation or any drip system hooked up to it yet. Hopefully a project that I'll get going on next year. So I have been using a hose and watering everything by hand. We have hundreds of feet of hose that reaches all the way out to our pond that we flood the ice rink in the winter. So I have stolen that hose for the summer to use in my garden space out there. And it's one of those really nice, light, flexi hoses. So it's kind of easy to maneuver. And we enjoy it in the winter because it doesn't really freeze up and get all kinky. Kinky? Anyway, so I have lost my watering hose from the back patio here, which I have containers and some hanging baskets and some small garden spaces. I've lost that hose out to the garden and I really don't like dragging the hose from the garden all the way back over to the house and watering and watering and watering and more watering. So I thought, well, it would be nice to have a second hose hooked up to water my patio garden. And the auto rewind hose, that is something that I think I really would like. But do I really need it? The price point was, the one I was looking at, it was around $200 from Costco. I'm not sure the name or the brand from it, but it was one of the bigger wall-mounted hose reels that you could take on and off to store it in the winter. And I thought, well, do I really want to make that commitment? We have all these hoses that I don't even use. I was at Home Depot the other day and walking down the aisle, and I passed by this guy. This is the Virago Auto Rewind Hose Reel on sale for $49.95. That's Canadian Home Depot prices. So for $50, I thought, well, there's something I could probably try and see if it's something that I liked and that I would use. So I thought, why not get two? So I've installed one at the back patio and one out at the front garden for my front patio garden. Now at a $50 price point, I thought, well, it's probably not as good as the one that I was looking at the $200 price point, but for $50, I think I can handle that to try it out and see if it's something that I needed to use or needed to add in. And if it works, great. I might upgrade to a higher quality hose if I needed to, but for now, the $50 price point was something I was willing to try out. Guys, the first one I had installed was out here on the back patio, and it was quite easy to install. I did lose all the footage of us drilling into the brick wall, however. It comes with all the pieces that you need to put it onto a brick wall. It comes with the expansion bolts, I think they're called, that you put into a brick. You could screw it directly onto a fence post or a piece of wood if you needed to. Our situation, our setting is a brick wall, and I wanted it out here close to my hose hookup. It has 2 or 3 feet of hose from the device that you hook into your tap, your spigot. And let me grab the instructions in the box and I'll read what it says and the specifications on this device. So this is the box that it comes in. Mine's a little wet and damaged from the rain because it has been sitting outside since I had it installed. However, we still do have the instructions, which I'm not sure I actually did read, but it does come with instructions. And it says, congratulations on your purchase. Well, you're welcome. So this comes with the reel. It comes with 2 expansion bolts, a male hose coupling, a female hose coupling. Those are both pre-assembled on each of the ends of the hose. 50 feet of 7.5 millimeter garden hose. 50 feet isn't very far, but it does work for my patio, and 7.5 mil, which I think is a 0.3 inch. I think it says it's a 0.3 inch garden hose. So it is a smaller hose, which makes it really lightweight, but you do lose some water pressure with the hose. So if you're short on water pressure to begin with, I'm not sure this is going to get you what you need in your garden. But for me, it seems to be working pretty good. So 1 meter, 7.5 millimeter tape to reel leading hose. I'm not sure what that means, but oh, that's F. So 1 meter. So it's got 1 meter of hose from the box that reaches to your spigot. So you need to have it within that distance from your spigot to hook it up to the water. So it does come with 2 expansion bolts, like I said, we used to put into the brick. We just drilled holes with a 10 mil, I think, drill bit. Let me see if it says in here what size drill bit. Yes, 10 millimeter drill bit, and it gives you all the instructions in here how to install it. And it was really quite simple. We drilled 2 holes. First, you measure on the wall for the bracket where you need to put your bolts. You drill your holes and you put your expansion bolt in, and you crank your bolt in and it snugs it up. And then the bracket on this, which is different from the other models that I had been looking at. The other models I had looked at, the bracket stays on the wall and you just remove the device from the bracket. So it had like a pivot that it would go on. Pivot. This one, you definitely have to unscrew the bracket from the wall and take it inside to store it for the winter. So here's a close-up look at the bracket. Let me move my watering wand out of your way. So the bracket is attached to the device here, and it's a permanent. It doesn't undo at this location. So I figured for the winter we just have to undo the 2 bolts. There's one at the top and one at the bottom, and then the whole bracket with the whole device comes off the wall to store it for the winter. So here's the hose that comes out of the device and hooks into your spigot. Now the couplings on the end, they are just plastic couplings that are on this device. Again, to keep it, I guess, at the cheaper price point, it's used plastic instead of brass. I have added in my own quick connect, so it doesn't come with any quick connect or any watering wands. This was a watering wand that I had here, so I've added that onto the end with a quick connect of my own, and you can see it just comes with the plastic couplings on the end, and we have a little plastic bobble that stops it when you want to pull it back in. So you pull it out and it locks into place at whatever length you want to have it at, and when you want it to go back in, you just give it a little tug and it auto rewinds back in. I have been loving this. I've been using this for about 2 weeks and I really enjoyed it. So it's really a lightweight and it does pull out really easily from the device. Can you see it back there? Can you see it way back there? So we go 50 feet. I usually just pull until I reach the end. So I've reached the end of the 50 feet and there is a little red marker on the end of the hose to let you know you've reached the end. Also, I ran out of hose. So I'm 50 feet from the house. It reaches to my greenhouse, which is a bit of a mess right now. I've cleaned it out. My electrician is coming today to hook up my chandelier. That'll be the next video. Anyway, so then when you get out as far as you need to be with your hose, and it doesn't matter how far you have the hose out, whether it's all the way out or whether it's only like 2 feet out, the water pressure is the same. You do lose a little bit of water pressure with this hose, and let's try it out over here so you can see how it looks. I like that it's lightweight. It's really lightweight and it's perfect for, like I said, patios or containers. That's the shower setting. That's the setting that I like to water most of my garden with anyways. Let's put it on the jet and you can see how far the jet goes. So the jet reaches another 5 feet. It's pretty good water pressure. So then once you're done with it and you need to roll it back in, you just give it a little tug again. So let's try it. I have been walking it back in each time. So I'm going to grab it here by this little knobby thing and you just give it a tug. And I walk it back in. And then it swivels on the bracket, and then I usually just set my watering wand on top to store it. There is a small little hook down here that I guess if you had a carabiner or something on it, you could hang your hose or your watering wand from there. So like I mentioned, I didn't get just one to try out. I did get 2. So the hose that I was using out here at the front of the house was a big heavy hose that has been here for years, and I hated dragging it around. It would crush half the plants in my garden if I wasn't really paying attention. But I decided to install one of these auto rewind hoses out here at the front garage as well. So the front of the house is the same brick, so we used the same, what were they called? Anchor bolts. 2 holes into the brick with a 10 mil drill bit and mounted it here close to our water spigot, hooked it up. And I didn't put any quick connects on this one. This is just directly attached to the hose, and it works just as well. Let's go water some petunias. So I've been using this out at the front here to water my petunias with my paint can. So I have really been enjoying this garden hose. It is so lightweight, and I guess that's why it's only a 0.3 inch hose. I can drag it around my garden, and if it does happen to, catch the edge of one of my plants, it doesn't really break them off. It might crush them a little bit just from the hose hitting them, but it does reach up to my container with my petunias and over here to my ferns. Very easy to drag over here through the garden and reach up there on the patio to get the hanging baskets. Can you guys see the gypsy moths? While we're out here, and I'm distracted now by my hollyhocks. I started these hollyhocks last year from seed and have been waiting for this day for the hollyhocks to be in bloom. So let's just take a moment to enjoy the hollyhocks. So like I was explaining, the lightweight hose, you can see how my hose on the front garden here, there's nothing to protect the edge of the garden, but because it is a little hose, it doesn't do really any damage to my flowers out here at the front. So same as the hose in the back, when you're finished, you just give your hose a little tug and it auto rewinds. And then I just take my watering wand and I set it on top and tuck it away. I've really, really enjoyed the auto rewind hose. So if you're thinking about something like this, what is it called? Vigoro 50-foot auto rewind hose reel, and I purchased mine at Home Depot. It was $50 Canadian. So if you're in the US, it's probably a little cheaper. But it's been really nice to have at the back patio and at the front garden to water the containers and any small gardening space. It probably would take you a really long time to water a large garden space, but hey, who doesn't like watering, right? Anyways, guys, just a quick little review for my new hose. I'm really enjoying it. Love the auto rewind feature, and yeah, I would suggest giving it a try. If you have a small space to water, or a patio, or if you live in a townhouse or an apartment where you don't have a lot of room for a lot of hoses, this definitely, I think, would fit into that style of space or gardening. Anyways, my name is Bonnie. This is Artist in a Garden. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below. Have you tried an auto rewind hose, or are you thinking about getting one? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.